Hey everyone, decided to do this video and talk about some parabolic shorts. This is a good swing play. It's an easy pattern to recognize and it can make you lots of money really quick. The idea here is to look for parabolic moves. A parabolic move is a move that's straight up. A parabola is pretty much a big U shape. So what we like to see is a big straight move up. The idea here is that nothing can run up forever. Sooner or later it's going to have to move in the other direction. It's going to pull back. Usually when something moves violently in one direction, it's going to move violently in the other direction. So we're going to use this setup to catch that violent move back as we short these things as they come back down. The setup here, like I said, it's a straight run up. Usually it's full of gaps. We don't really see any red. It's just a bunch of green days. It's usually got a lot of volume coming in. And one of the most important things is when we add our Bollinger Bands to our price history, we can see that the whole candle is outside the Bollinger Band. This happened, it started poking out 3 days ago. It poked out completely yesterday and it is way out today. This is a must. The Bollinger Bands measure standard deviation moves, usually something that moves 2 standard deviations outside of where it normally would is going to come back. It's just too big of a move to sustain. So what we do is in the morning, we like to see some weakness happen. First we see a gap up, then we like to see some weakness come in. Usually I like to play these as a green to red move. Y'all heard me talk about the red to green moves. This is the opposite, it's a green to red. Usually we get a gap up in the morning and then it starts to finally sell off. We see some selling pressure coming in. Like here we did see a gap up in the 48s and we finally saw some sell pressure come in and it actually did go red. I actually shorted it right here and I wrote it down a little ways. I'm still in this position. I'm underwater right now as it has gone up 32 cents from where I bought it. Usually these moves will happen over a couple of days, so it's a good swing move. It's a good swing short. So I'm still in it. I will look for some weakness in the morning and I think we can get a nice push down. This is completely overbought here, so it doesn't really have much room to go up higher. It could move sideways, which is the one downside to this. It could move sideways, get back in those Bollinger Bands, and we won't see any move. I'll end up flat or a slight loss. That's not that big of a problem because it, like I said, it'll be flat or a slight loss. And when these moves move in the direction you want, like we can see on Re today, they can really move. This is 9%. If you would have got in when it went green to red, you would have been 9% positive. That is not a bad move. Look at that sell volume come in. It was peaked out and overbought and it's finally coming down. I actually tried to short this myself, but I couldn't find any shares. Thank TD Ameritrade for that, but what can you do? A couple ones that are setting up is MITI. This looks good. Like I said, look at this parabolic move. We're going to add our Bollinger Bands on it. And you see that the whole candle is outside. It's been strong. We're going to look for a gap up in the morning, and then we're going to go green to red, and that's when we're going to short it. Now, if we don't get a gap up in the morning, it's still playable. It's just not as ideal. But it's still playable. Look for some setup. Look for some support breaks on the intraday level, and then short it there. We also have CPWM. This one's looking real good. It's looking like it actually wants to go. I almost shorted this one just to anticipate. I actually forgot about it during the day. I was watching it consolidate and I forgot to put my order in to try to short this thing. But it already starting to sell off a little bit. Look for it to crush yesterday's highs and then it will definitely be pulling back into that Bollinger Bands and be a good short. Like I said, this is a good play. You can get some pretty big swings in this. It's good for a couple of days. I would expect Re to come all the way down to the 50-day moving average. Definitely keep this on your list. It's easy to see. It's easy to spot. You just look for something running up big. You throw those Bollinger Bands on, and there you go. You got yourself a setup. Hopefully this helps everyone. If you got any questions, please post it in the forum, and I will be happy to answer anyone about this.